Southern Mississippi's Golden Eagles win a shootout against the Rice Owls in Houston and get ready for the final home game against the Charlotte 49ers. We'll take a look at everything going on in Golden Eagle football today on Southern Miss Sports Today with Coach Jay Hopson. Well, hi everybody. Welcome to Southern Miss Sports Today with Coach Jay Hopson, presented by Bancorp South. Good weekend last weekend for the Golden Eagles. They traveled out to Houston, Texas to historic Rice Stadium to take on the Rice Owls, and the Golden Eagles get a 43-34 victory. But Hop, for a long time it looked like whoever had the football last in that ball game might be the winner. It was a high-scoring ball game and a lot of action there in the second half. Yeah, it was. I tell you, I thought we really did a great job offensively. Again, a lot of guys made plays. I thought, Quadre did a great job. I thought Ito ran the ball well. Tez ran the ball well. Corey Robertson, again, had another really good day. And what about Tim Jones? The young freshman comes up with a big touchdown early. I felt like, we certainly, the first 3 or 4 drives defensively, I thought we were playing fantastic. And then, about midway through the second quarter, through the rest of the game, give Rice credit. We were holding on, but our offense came through and good team win. That's what football's about. Sometimes one side's down, the other side picks them up, and I think that's one thing throughout a season you see in our team and most teams. So certainly a good win. Glad to get the W and get back to Hattiesburg. Football is such a funny game. As you say, early in the game, boy, you're knocking the ball loose, had a chance to get on top of it, could have very easily been had 2 or 3 touchdowns, but they got the football and they kind of got it going a little bit. They did, and again, it was they kept some third downs alive. We had them some 3rds and 4, 3rd and 8, 3rd and 6. And they just kept their drive alive. A couple 4th downs in that second quarter, they went 4 late and kept the drive alive. And those are opportunities. You get them off the field, you end some of that. But they got a little momentum, and give them credit. They did a good job. It was a tough, hard-fought game, as we knew it would be. They're a football team that had played everybody tough. They played FIU tough. Louisiana Tech had gone down to the last seconds. They had just tough game after tough game, but we knew it would be a tough ball game, and good to get the win. When you go back and look offensively at the Golden Eagles, what did you see that you liked out of the Golden Eagles in that ball game? Well, I thought we had good diversity. I thought we were a balanced attack. I thought Ito, like I said, I thought we blocked well up front, give our offensive line a lot of credit. I thought we ran the ball well. Ito ran the ball well. I thought our receivers made plays. I thought Quadre did a great job directing our offense. So it was an overall great team effort offensively, and just a big win. We don't talk a lot about the offensive line, but they've done a really good job this year. It's a mixture of some veterans and some really young guys, but they've done a really good job of protecting the quarterback, whether it's Keon Howard or Quadre Griggs. There's no doubt about it. Those guys, and of course our upperclassmen, Devin Farrior and Jerry Harris, are our 2 seniors, and then you look at some of the youngsters like Arvin and Ty and Drake and some of those guys. Even Stoots is our 6th man. He's a senior. Don't let me forget him. He comes in and does a great job for us. But we got a lot of guys, and Big Woodley gets in there and does a great job. So we've got guys that are all contributing, and they're working well and meshing well as a unit. We always like to talk a little bit about the special teams. No punts in the ball game. That hadn't happened in a long time here around Southern Miss, but Parker Schoenfield, perfect again. Great job with the field goals, and even a pretty good kickoff return there by Quez Watkins, who was just that close to maybe breaking one. I thought Quezzy might bust it, man. That one was 1 blocker away, and he was going to go to the house, so I was pleased with that unit. He's doing a good job back there. And then Parker, again, he continues to kick the ball well. That kick before half was a big kick. It kept you a 2-score lead, and I thought we kicked the ball well. Briggs did some good things kicking off too. You mentioned Ito Smith. He becomes just the 10th player in NCAA history to rush for over 4,000 and catch passes for over 1,000. That puts him in some really select company. Yeah, that's pretty amazing. You think about it, when only 10 other people in the history of college football have done it, that just lets you know what type of football player Ito Smith is. And he'll be the first one to give the offensive line credit, the receivers, the quarterbacks, but he's been a tremendous football player, and he deserves all the kudos he gets. You mentioned Devin Farrior. We're getting ready to go to our feature segment of the show. He's our senior feature this week, young man out of Waynesboro who's played a lot of football, maybe as much as anybody on this team. He's been a 4-year guy that's played a lot of snaps for the Golden Eagles. Yeah, Devin's our leader up front. He's a guy that, again, we moved him to center this year, and
he just took to that like a duck to water, you know, and just, you know, he's a guy that's a smart football player. He's a tough football player. He's a guy that, again, he kind of sets the table for us and has just done a tremendous job. And I think he's a heck of a player that Devin's one of those guys I think a lot of people ought to be looking at, and he's doing a great job for us.
He had to step in behind the great Cameron Tom, but I tell you, Devin has really sort of kind of made his own niche in there as a really solid leader on this football team.
He really has, and he's done a tremendous job. So, I mean, again, I think Devin's had a great senior year, and you know, there's a reason guys are looking at him, you know, just because of just the way he's played week in and week out this season.
So now let's take a look at this week's features as we go inside Southern Miss football.
Wayne County is the War Eagles, and it's always there. It was always taught hard-nosed football. You know, you really got to be tough to play War Eagle football, and always knew the Golden Eagles were hard-nosed football. So that kind of made me want to come here, and then also it's just our way. Well, I played football all my life, and tried other sports, but there was too much running involved, so I kind of limited myself to football and really enjoyed it, and really enjoyed the people around me. So that's really what molded me into being the football player I am today. I remember my 4th grade year, first time playing football, they put me at center. So I've always kind of been an offensive lineman, defensive lineman. The most challenging thing about playing offensive line is just being able to not have recognition. You know, you're real selfless players. You don't worry about, you know, putting myself out there. You're worried about your teammates, and that's one thing I really do love, because I never really kind of think as myself. I always think of myself as a selfless person. Offensive line, you can't have, you know, grudges about somebody playing more than you or less. You know, you have to be together. Like, whoever steps up gets in a position and just goes. And like you said, there's 5 people. It's really hard to deal with, like, 5 people. Like a wide receiver, he can mess up, or somebody can mess up, but they don't have the big responsibility as we do, carrying the whole team, really. Excitement for me is just scoring. You know, just knowing the accomplishment that you just did on that drive made us score, and it's just hard to explain, because there's no like stats or anything that you really get. I mean, you go out there and do it for your team, and you know that when you succeed, you're scoring. So that's fun for me. My role as a leader is more by example. I go out, do my job, and come in. You know, I've always kind of molded myself around the Patriots motto: just do your job, and everything else will follow. And I really believe that if you go out there and do your job, that everything will follow. So a lot of young guys, they'll come up to me, like the young offensive lineman, something like that. They always come up to me and ask me how'd you do this? How'd you do that? And then I also see myself as a player's coach, because they always come up to me and ask me, how do you do this? So I just take the time. I don't be a stuck-up person. I just kind of like help everybody. So I hope to become a high school coach, maybe a head coach, offensive line coach, and hopefully I have really good success in that.
Well, growing up, I'm from originally Winston-Salem, North Carolina. My first love was basketball. Being in the Tar Heel State on Tobacco Road, you know, that's probably every young boy's dreams to play for, UNC or Duke or Wake Forest as far as their basketball program. That was my first love. My father played football at North Carolina back on our last ACC championship team. Got a chance to play for the New York Giants. So I grew up in a football family with my father and my two other brothers playing as well. I went to Florida State to play with my older brother, AJ. After high school, we got a chance to play at Mount Tabor High School in Winston-Salem. I was a freshman and he was a senior, and I played with him as well at Florida State. So, my first love was basketball, and then, being in a football family with my father playing football, growing up around it, him teaching myself along with my brothers. I've gained that love for football at an early age. I probably played basketball, football, and track up until probably my sophomore, junior year in high school, and I predominantly focused on football and training year-round when I was a junior in high school.
Right hand down, explode, like you jumping, explode it to the back. Better, that's better, that's better.
Well, my experience at Florida State was everything, being able to be coached by a legend and Bobby Bowden and Mickey Andrews, Kevin Steele, who's at Auburn right now, is the defensive coordinator, Chuck Amato, who's the head coach at NC State at one time, who's my linebacker coach as well, who's now at Akron, Odell Hagens, who's still there. Those men instilled so much in me with my time at Florida State, and I carry that to this day. The things they taught me as far as X's and O's and teaching me the game of football, how to talk to young men, how to not be afraid to show people, your beliefs and your values and who you are. There's one thing Coach Bowden said to me, and I say it to my guys, that always have stuck out to me. He said, the reason why I coach is not for wins or losses. Don't get me wrong, I want to win. But the reason why I coach is one day when I go to heaven, I want to see all my boys up there with me. And that has always stuck with me. How that statement, how it impacted me, and how I can use football as a platform to impact other young men. That's the main reason why I do it, is to impact young men in a way that can't never be taken away from me. If I can change one life and that one life can change 1,000, I did my job. The part I love most about the football is the process, the journey. I've been doing this since I was 4 years old. You couldn't say, it's all I know is football. I was born in a football family. I grew up in it. In my playing days, I used to get home from practice 6:30, 7 o'clock, do my homework, and then at 9:30, 10 o'clock, me and my dad used to be, I didn't go to sleep about midnight. We used to be up to 10, we was up for 2 hours watching film and preparing for the opponent who was about to play on that Friday. And I had that same habit, and I did those same things when I was in college. Sometimes, Coach Steele, Coach Amato, or Mickey, and then Coach Peck probably could attest to this because he was a GA at the time and said, hey, go ahead and get out of here, man. But I love the process. There's nothing like it. There's nothing like seeing it all, seeing the start of a game plan, seeing the start of a journey, and seeing how it works out, what you put in, how you prepare and practice, and then seeing it finally come to fruition through game day. Game day is just the part where you just go out there, you have fun, you do what you've been taught to do all week long. It's muscle memory, go play fast, have fun, put on a show, entertain these people, come out here and see you play. Make sure the fans, the coaches, the families, everybody that's watching you play, that you put on a good show for them. But I love the process. I get excited. It's like I get excited when I get in here on Sunday. Even we just played on Saturday. It's a new week, new team. All right, the journey starts all over again. How can we put our team, how can we put our guys in the best position to be successful? I always love that journey and how it all plays out. And then Saturday nights and seeing it, all come and fall through. That's exciting as well, but I love that journey. It's nothing like the journey. I think the tradition here is so powerful that the mindset of the players you know, that they got to carry a flag not only for this football team, but they got to carry that flag for those teams of years past, for the guys that put on the black helmet, for those guys that stepped on that football field in the rock and played. You know, me being here, me being, you know, thrown in this atmosphere and on this campus and this tradition, it's been an eye-opener to me because I didn't know that much about Southern Miss growing up. I knew Brett, I'm like most guys I recruited sometimes in Florida and Georgia. I knew Brett Farrior went here. That's about it. I didn't have a clue who Reggie Collier was, you know, me being from North Carolina. So, you know, when I got here, you know, the defensive tradition, you know, going way back, the teams they have beaten, thinking about, you know, the Alabamas, the Auburns, you know, the Georgias, those teams like that. You never realize that when you from the outside in, if you don't know, if you haven't been around it your whole life. So I think sometimes when you have a rich tradition, because I played for a school that had a rich tradition, there's some weight you got to carry, and you got to hold that flag up for everybody to ever put on that helmet, and you got to set an example and lead the program in good standing when you leave. So, you know, I think the tradition here is very, very, very amazing. I think it's unbelievable. Probably one of the best, if not the best, in Mississippi. Very, very, very rich. And sometimes on game day, you know, sometimes listen to some of the older guys that come back and talk. It gives you chills and know you're part of something special, something so rich.
We made the announcement a couple weeks ago about a new wellness volleyball center. Excited about where the direction of that project is. We hired the architecture firm Ware Burner Allen out of Jackson, Mississippi to design the project for us. We're getting close to the end of the design phase, so we should have a final number here soon. We've been aggressively fundraising for that. Really excited about what that facility will do for us, and when I say us, I mean athletically. This institution, the University of Southern Mississippi as an institution, will benefit from this facility, and then the larger Hattiesburg community will also benefit from the facility. It'll be right around plus or minus 1,000 seats. There will be opportunities to host a multitude of events in the building that are not athletically related. I could see concerts, camps, graduations, plays, just a variety of things that will be run through that facility that I'm really excited about. You know, one of the things that I talked about early on in my tenure was alignment with campus, making sure, you know, sometimes, you know, athletics, we are not the most important thing on campus, but we are the most visible. And I wanted to make sure through that visibility, we reiterated athletically that we wanted to be aligned with campus. The partnership with our Bauer Academic Center in the library would speak to that type of alignment. I think this new Wellness Volleyball Center is another piece that we will have multiple university events in there, and really good from an alignment standpoint as well. Really excited about the direction of the Bauer Academic Center. We met with the architects a week ago. They're still in the drawing and design phase. You know, we're going to go from a current square footage of about 3,600 square feet where our student athletes are operating out of that academic center to somewhere between 15 and 18,000 square feet for a new academic center. So should have those plans finished here in the next couple weeks. We still have some fundraising to do for that, but it is a project that is really the most important project for me. Our student athletes are competing in the classroom very well. I want to make sure that we provide them with a first-class space to study in, and this new Bauer Academic Center will be just that. The partnership between athletics and academics is unique. I would say This is certainly the first academic center that I'm aware of that is partnering with a library on campus to host an athletic academic center. It'll be on the second floor of Cook Library. It will have, it'll be unique to athletics, but we'll also have some space that we will share with the general student population. So there'll be some study areas, classrooms, etc., that both athletics and academics can use, and I think it'll be a great partnership between campus and the athletic department. A lot of good things are going on in athletics. I'm really, after 8 months on the job, I couldn't be more proud to be the athletic director at Southern Miss. We've got a lot of projects going on. Momentum is really strong, and want to continue the positive progress that we have.
And we're back on Southern Miss Sports Today with Coach Jay Hopson, presented by Bancorp South, and hope you enjoyed this week's features. And Hop, one of the guys we visited with was the defensive line coach, Derek Nicholson, a guy who played at Florida State and has really done a good job, really seems to communicate well with those guys up on the defensive front. And he's had 9, 10, 11 guys that have played for him up there this year.
Yeah, Derek's done a tremendous job. He's a hard worker, excellent football coach, and you know, he coaches with a fire and a passion, and I think you see that in his players too. He's a guy that he's got one speed, and that's full speed, and just been blessed to have him on staff for a few years, and just love him to death, and doing a great job for the Golden Eagles.
And he's a guy who has really taught, I think, those defensive linemen a little bit more about the game. They've been a very important part of the success this year.
There's no doubt about it, and he's a guy that, again, I always think that you know, players kind of follow those attitudes of their coach. And Derek's a high energy guy. He's a guy that loves football through and through, and he's just a special coach, special guy. And again, we're blessed to have him on the Golden Eagle staff.
We have spent the last couple of weeks visiting a little bit with Athletic Director Jon Gilbert. Last week was about the new Adidas deal with Southern Miss, but this week it's about the Bauer Academic Center and some other things that are going on. And that Bauer Academic Center is something that's been long overdue.
It's just, yeah, it's a great thing, and it's just such a fitting tribute to Coach Bauer. I mean, I can't tell you how many days you know I would hear him talk about academics, and I think it's going to be a special deal for our student athletes, and you know, we're just looking forward to getting that complete, and I know our players are, and that'll help in all areas, you know, from all the way from recruiting to the reality of what we want all our players to do, and that's graduate and get a degree.
You know, it's funny you should say that about Coach Bauer. I'm not sure. Well, I'm pretty sure that he got as much pride or maybe more in his guys graduating and doing success, having success in the classroom than he did the championships.
There's no doubt about it, no doubt about it. That was something that was constantly stressed, and again, it's a fitting tribute to Coach Bauer, and just looking forward to seeing what that brings to our student athletes, and I know they're looking forward to having that center completed.
Final home game of the season this week against the Charlotte 49ers. First off, you got a large senior class, and when you go up and down that list, there's a lot of guys on there that in some way or another have made great contributions to Southern Miss football.
No doubt about it. It's a special day. It's senior day, and it's for the seniors. You know, it's the last opportunity to play at the Rock, and sometimes I don't know, John, if it hits you quite as hard when you're actually going through it than it does 5, 10 years down the road. You know, and I think that it's a special day, and just looking forward to paying tribute to those guys and thanking those men for everything they've done for our program, and just a special day.
Let's talk about the team you face on Saturday, the Charlotte 49ers. A lot like the Rice Ball Club. Charlotte's record nowhere near what they would like it to be, but they've beaten UAB. They've been in a lot of close ball games, so it's a 49er ball club that could have several more wins.
I say it as another strong Conference USA opponent coming to town. I mean, that's the reality. It's a football team. It's a talented football team that plays hard, and so we know it's a big challenge. Again, it is what it is. I said it last week, and that held true, and I say it this week, and I said it the week before, and the week before, and the week before. So another big team that has our utmost respect, and we know we've got to have a good day.
All right, Hop, thanks as always for the visit. Best of luck on Saturday. We'll see you next week.
Thanks, Coxie.
All right, the Golden Eagles and the Charlotte 49ers on Saturday afternoon at the Rock. Again, it's a day to honor our Golden Eagle seniors for their great contributions to Golden Eagle football. We need you there. Hope to see you at the Rock on Saturday. Don't forget, Monday nights we're at Georgia Blue in Hattiesburg for the Golden Eagle Hotline with Coach Hopson. Come on by, visit with us, enjoy a great meal, and we'll sit around and talk a little Golden Eagle football. That'll do it. Have a great week, everybody. We'll see you next time with another inside look into Golden Eagle football.
Been thinking about it since I was a kid.
Mom would be so proud.
If I could do it for a living.
Using my mom's recipes to open up a cupcake shop.
For my daughter to go to vet school.
Singing karaoke in all 50 states.
Captaining my own shrimp boat.
Tell us what you dream about. With the right loan or savings plan, we can make it a reality, no matter how crazy.
That's right. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Keeping you within reach of what matters most. We're Bancorp South, and we're right where you are.
You got me falling hard, sweet baby, got me falling hard for you. And still, I felt this way before, you know it's true. And still, you got me more and more. Oh, you got me falling hard.
Bocoma Casino invites you to come experience a Las Vegas-style atmosphere with small-town southern charm just up the road in Sandersville, Mississippi. You could drive over 70 miles to the coast, but don't risk the road. Bocoma Casino boasts over 700 high-energy slots, plus your favorite table games like blackjack, craps, roulette, and poker. Our 27,000-square-foot casino offers so many ways to win. Come see us at Bocoma Casino. Real winning, real close to home. Sandersville, Mississippi. Play here, win here.
Hey Southern Miss fans, it's Toby Barker, Mayor of Hattiesburg. Mickey Spagnola once wrote, "If you're going to war and you get to choose first, choose Southern Mississippi. Always choose Southern Mississippi. Don't fight Southern Mississippi, because no matter how hard you fight, those folks will fight harder." His words capture the character of our institution and our city. We here in Hattiesburg are writing a new story, one where we rise to our challenges with great excitement, one where we push our city to reach its potential, and most importantly, one where there's real partnership between the University of Southern Mississippi and the city of Hattiesburg. Southern Miss is vital to our city's success, from the quality of life it provides through athletics and the arts to the talent it cultivates in the classroom. We share a common destiny. Hattiesburg is proud to be Mississippi's college city, and we hope as we go forward you'll join us in supporting our Golden Eagles this season as they go to the top.